pieces of advice. The place which changes people's lives.
Eddie Coronado is a lottery winner and law of attraction expert who is the author of Manifest Your Millions. As a distinguished member of a Toastmasters International, Eddie shares his wealth of metaphysical knowledge to the audience worldwide and through his books, videos, and recorded materials. His testimony is unique in that he has actually used the law of attraction to win big lottery prizes, and he's manifested other wonderful things through the universal law. By explaining the characteristic of the law of attraction and how it can be used by any person, he has helped scores of people understand the correct use of this power. As a result of Eddie's insightful teachings, many people have learned to use the law of attraction to manifest money, find new jobs, start lucrative businesses, buy new homes, attract new relationships, and create the life of their dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Eddie Coronado.
So basically, Eddie, he's an expert in law of attraction, and he wrote a book which is Manifest Your Millions. Could you say something about your story, because I'm finding this very interesting?
I don't believe in luck. I believe in intention, intention is a goal with a plan. It's an aim with a plan. That's what intention is. When you create an intention to finish school, you create the goal, and then you have a plan of action to finish school. Same when you write a book. You create a goal to write a book, and then you have the action plan to finish that book. That's what I believe in. I believe in intention, and also there's randomness. Because if you buy enough tickets, eventually you're going to win something. If a state or a country sells enough tickets, there'll be a winner. So I believe in two things, intention, and I believe in randomness, because someone is going to win. I believe that if you use the power of intention correctly, you can make things come your way. I don't believe it's luck. I just believe that things happen to you as a result of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. If you think positively, consistently, then you're going to have positive experiences in your life. If you think negatively, if negative words come out of your mouth, if you're constantly thinking about negative thoughts, and most importantly, since emotions are creative, if you expect negative things to happen, then most of the things that will happen in your life will be negative. But if you turn it all around, turn your words around in your thoughts and your imaginary pictures towards positivity, then those are the things that you're giving energy to, and they will manifest for you in your life.
So, for example, your tips, what someone could do to just, for example, from tomorrow morning, do small changes to start attracting things to his or her life, or change his thinking or emotions.
We have to understand how our minds work and how our thoughts work. We have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is the seat of habit. It has all our feelings, all our emotions, all our memories, all our addictions, because everything that you think about on a day-to-day basis consciously, if you think about it on a day-to-day basis and if you put emotion into it, eventually it goes from consciousness to your subconscious mind. And when it's in your subconscious mind, that's when it's powerful. A thought with emotion becomes a part of your subconscious mind. A lot of us want to do things. We want to succeed. We want more money. We want a better life. We want to succeed in school. We want to write books. We want to do things like you're doing. But in our subconscious mind, we have feelings and beliefs that are negative, that don't allow us to do the things that we want to do. There are a few things that we can do to change our subconscious mind, the powerhouse of our soul. We can, first of all, consciously and intentionally, we can begin to speak positively every day. Think positively. When you start to think about your life and you go about your day, instead of speaking negatively, instead of thinking negatively, start thinking positively. If a friend comes over and that person wants to talk to you about negative things, remember that you want to put positive thoughts into your mind, in your subconscious mind. So begin to speak positively. Think positive thoughts and start imagining yourself doing things that you want to do, because that is the only way that you can change your subconscious mind and in order to do the things that you want to do. The first thing that I would do in the morning, what I like to do every morning in order to start my day positively, I like to start by being grateful for the things that I have. Before I get out of bed in the morning, I always think about 10 things that I'm grateful for my health, for my family, for the job that I have to go to in the morning. I'm even grateful for that. I recently bought a new car, so I give thanks for that. I give thanks because I have money to go to lunch every day. 10 things in the morning to be thankful for before I get out of bed. When I get to work, I write those 10 things down on a 3x5 card so that I could look at it throughout the day.
Really?
So during the morning, I look at my card. And during the afternoon, I look at my card. And all throughout the day, I have 10 things on my mind that I'm grateful for.
What should we recommend if someone really not feel grateful for now? And
Okay, a long time ago, Meister Eckhart, who was a Catholic monk, he said, if the only prayer that you can ever mutter is thank you, that would be enough. Find a few things a day that you could be grateful for. Even if it's difficult, even if it's hard, find them, write them down on a piece of card, a 3x5 card, and look at them daily. They don't have to be fantastic things. It could be the fact that you have a shower to take a shower with in the morning, because most people on this planet don't have a shower. They don't have indoor plumbing. You might have some new shoes that you could be grateful for. You might have memories of someone who died years ago who made you feel good that you could be grateful for. Anything that you could think about on a daily basis to be grateful for, those things will raise your energy and make you feel better. I have been grateful in my life, and gratitude is wonderful because it will bless you in ways that you can imagine and in ways that you cannot imagine. Gratitude can literally persistently practice every day can change your life from poverty to abundance. It truly can. This is what I did. I wanted money to pay off some bills, and I heard that I could, the law of attraction works. I heard that I can change my life by changing my thoughts. Every day, in addition to practicing gratitude, every day I watched the words that came out of my mouth. Because if I wanted money and positivity in my life, but if my words were negative, then my words were canceling what I wanted.
For example, could you give me an example like of this change which you were going through?
If someone came to me and said to me, Eddie, in 8 months we want to go to France, would you like to go? At that time I didn't have any money, and instead of saying, no, I can't go to France in 8 months, I didn't say that because I knew that my words are powerful, that they're prophetic. So what I said is, that sounds fun, I'll think about it, I'd really like to go. So instead of negating the possibilities through negative words, which are prophetic, I said, it's a possibility, let me think about it. Because even though my situation was negative in terms of finances, who knows what will happen in 6 months or 8 months? Yeah, miracles can happen. You could win the lottery. You could find the money. Your uncle, who you haven't seen in years, might say, you know what? You're my nephew. I love you. I'm going to give you money so you can go to France. You have no idea. You limit your experience when you limit your words. So what I did, gratitude, I changed my words. In addition to that, I sat down on my couch every day, and for 15 to 20 minutes a day, I closed my eyes and I imagined myself having more money. I didn't imagine winning the lottery. What I did was I imagined myself going to the bank, and the bank teller, I'd ask her, how much money do I have in my bank account? And she would say, $50,000. That's how much you have. And then I would imagine myself going to places in Hollywood to eat and being able to buy whatever I wanted. I imagined myself going to Nordstrom's and buying clothes. I felt the reality of buying the cologne and the clothes and the things that I wanted. I would imagine myself going to the cashier, and he or she would ring up my order, and in my mind I would say, I'm paying cash for it. That's what I did. I used my mind positively so that I could feel the reality of money, because your destiny is always in your feelings. If you feel negative and if you feel bad, you will bring that into your life. But if you feel good and if you feel expectant, there is nothing that can keep good from coming into your life if you feel expectant. It's a powerful force.
Could you tell me, is it for example, I'm finding something like this, that for some people it's, for example, it's start working and it's work very well in the beginning, and after that, you know, it stops, or it's really slowed down. Do you find it this way in your life?
It will reflect your actions and your commitment to it. Yes, it will reflect your commitment to it. If you stop thinking positively, if you stop intending, there's that word again, intention, to manifest money, to experience money, if you stop, then it will stop. But it will reflect your feelings and your commitment to it, for sure.
But is that means that, so we need to do to the rest of our lives, like all these techniques and visualization and programming of our mind?
You have to program your mind, and you have to change the negativity to positivity every day. Once you get that under your skin, and once you know how to do that well, your life will start falling in order. The power that you and I are working with, the law of attraction, it's more than just a mechanical power. You know what that power really is? That power that's creating the life of your dreams, it's actually God inside you, evolving and growing, expressing itself through you, and becoming more and more through you as you. This is what this power is. Not many people teach it, but I teach it. This law of attraction power is God individualizing, experiencing more through me. That's what this power is. And it wants us to learn more, have more, be more, and express ourselves more. And once we turn our thoughts to it, and we bring good into our life, it becomes easier and easier, because you become in tune with the power. I'm not saying that I'm God in totality, but I'm God individualized, becoming more and more every day through my expression of Him, through the good that I experience in my life, through the good that I express toward people, and through the good that I see. There are possibilities. If you go within yourself and feel the reality of what you want, speak positive words, and maintain those feelings, the way will come. It will come in the most miraculous way. It doesn't have to come from an area that you expect. It will come from somewhere. I won the lottery prizes that I won, the $50,000, on a ticket that I found, because that's how powerful this law of attraction is. I didn't even buy the ticket. I thought it would be nice to win the lottery, and I bought a few tickets, but the ticket that won me the $50,000 after I created my intention was found from the trash.
Why 50,000? Why you set up, that was, did you calculate it and that was money you needed, or that was money you wanted? Because I'm finding a big difference between those two.
Let me tell you, because I felt comfortable. Because at the time I thought, why don't I create an intention for $1 million or $2 million? But I said inside, I felt comfortable with 50,000. And I said, you know what? If this power works, it's going to bring me 50,000, because I can believe. It's like I know I can fit into those shoes. I knew that 50,000 felt good. So I told myself, I'm going to use this power to bring 50,000. Stuart Wilde said that if you want to bring more money into your life and more prosperity through the law of attraction, you need to be a good receiver. Because if you keep on saying no when people offer you things, then you're telling the universal law that you don't want more. So I learned to be a good receiver. If someone offered me coffee, if someone offered me a donut, obviously I took it. If someone offered to pay my bill at a restaurant, offered to take me to a movie, or offered me something, I would always say yes, because my actions aligned to the fact that I wanted more money, that I wanted to have more money. A lot of us are very uncomfortable when we go to a work environment, for example, or go to a meeting and someone says, do you want me to pay for dinner? We say no, because a lot of us are uncomfortable with that, because automatically we think, I have to buy him dinner next time. With me, I'll say yes, I'll take it, thank you. And I won't think about paying that person back, because I know that I'll pay that person back, or the universe will do it somehow.
What about this law that if you will give more, that you will receive more? And because, for example, I bet a lot of people doing this, they want to give, they want to pay. And so, for example, someone asking them to buy them a dinner, and they will say, no, I will buy you a dinner. So because they believe on the rule, which is give and you're going to receive more, and they will not receiving
All right, when you're working on prosperity and when you're working on having money through the law of attraction, you obviously probably don't have a lot of money. So that's the point where you start receiving a lot. But when you get to my point where you have money and where good things happen to you because of this, you want to pay for people. I have friends, a lot of friends of mine, who don't always have money to go to plays or musicals or to go to dinner or brunch in Beverly Hills. So I'll pay for my friends. And it's no big deal because I can do it. So it becomes a blessing for me because I feel good about treating my friend and she gets to go. So it's always good. The hand that is open to give is always open to receive. It's always good to be able to do both things. But I often feel good about paying for my friends. And that makes me feel good.
Is that the universe found different ways to bring money to your life?
Exactly, because right now I make money from my book Manifest Your Millions on Amazon.com. I have another book that I wrote in which I interviewed other people who won the lottery, and they told me some of their manifestation techniques. And I continue to write, and I make very good money, and I get to travel all over and save money and do whatever I want, and it's wonderful. So I'm not saying that I can't win any more lottery prizes, because I can. It's very possible. Not long ago, I went into a store and I asked for a lottery ticket. I got a lottery ticket and I asked for some cough drops and some gum, and somehow there was confusion. I paid my money, and when I took the lottery ticket home and the cough drops and I saw the money that I had, I realized that the clerk didn't charge me for the lottery ticket. I said, I'm not going to drive 15 miles to go back to the store to tell them about the error. So I scratched the ticket, and it was a $500 winner. And it's not a good luck story. You saw my book.
Yeah,
you saw, this is me winning on TV. So it's not made up. These things are real. But when you change your thoughts and your feelings and your actions in a positive way, in a more expansive way, and most importantly, when you visualize every day, even if what you are experiencing right now doesn't agree with your mental images will win out. Albert Einstein said that the imagination is more powerful than knowledge.
Okay, how long daily you visualize?
Okay, in the beginning, because I didn't know how to do it, and because it was difficult for me, and every single day, I sat down and I visualized for 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day, no matter what. Even if I was bored, even if I started thinking about Madonna. So I stayed with it every day. And eventually, after a couple weeks, 10 minutes became easy. And I started to think about things and imagine things, and I felt good about it. And as I continued and as I persisted, I increased it to 15 minutes a day. And as I increased it to 15 minutes a day, I noticed that good things started happening to me because I started feeling good about imagining things. Money would come from unexpected channels. Opportunities would come from unexpected channels. Things would happen. The no's that I was hearing became yeses. And that's what encouraged me to continue and continue. And eventually I won money. But the money that I won from the lottery, it doesn't even compare to the money that I make from my book sales. So not only did I win money, but I won more through my book sales, that type of thing.
And do you still visualize?
I still visualize every day. Yeah.
Really?
I sit down and I visualize for different things. I visualize for travel. I visualize for even my friends. I imagine them doing well, getting jobs and doing well. But most of the time I imagine for myself, having lots of money. I imagine myself writing more books. Anything that is pressing in my mind or in my life, I'll imagine for that and I'll visualize. If I'm having a problem with a person, then I'll imagine the problem another way in my mind. And soon the problem just fades away.
Can we use the law of attraction to do different things or, to turn out our business? Or, for example?
Yes, you can. Okay, I'm going to talk about two different examples. A person I know, a guy, asked me, he said, would the law of attraction work for romance? And I said, yes, it will work for romance. And I said, what are you interested? Do you want to fall in love? He said, no, I just want to have a girlfriend for the summer. So I said, okay, sit on your couch every day for 10 minutes and imagine yourself with this woman, whoever. Just imagine yourself with a girlfriend. Imagine yourself going places that you would go with a girlfriend, saying things that you would say to a girlfriend, doing things that you would do with a girlfriend. Imagine yourself walking hand in hand with her. Even imagine making love to her and kissing her and feeling her body. Do that. He did that, and within 3 weeks, he met a girlfriend, and he had a girlfriend for the summer. And this is a guy who was very, very shy. Another person, I told him about creative visualization because he was a real estate agent. I said, right now you might not have a lot of sales, but start imagining yourself having sales. Imagine the phone ringing. Imagine going on calls. Imagine talking to people and talking to clients. Not only did he visualize for a few months and his life changed through creative visualization, but I also taught him another thing. I taught him how to create an intentional statement. And what I did was I told him, create an intentional statement that you could say each day, that you could write on a card, that will remind you of your goals. And his intentional statement was, my intention is to have a lot of money so that I can enjoy my life, so that I can save money, and so that I can be the professional that I want to be. His intention was to make enough money to save at least $2,000 a month. So he wrote his intentional statement that way, and he was specific about it, and he reached it. He reached his goal.
Why so many people fail with the law of attraction?
Because they don't persist, they give up. Because your success is right around the corner. Because at the point where you give up, at the day that you give up, your success is just right around the corner. And people give up because of that. People don't persist. I told myself...
They don't persist gratitude, they don't persist
with their
positive words,
intention.
they don't persist visualization.
Exactly, they don't persist with it. Because if you persist with it, it will change your life. Because you're going within and you're using this divinity within you, this God power. And when you turn within and when you use the God within you, God cannot fail.
When the people feel down, they feel maybe depressed, they have a not good day or something happened, what you recommend to do for them?
I would recommend that they find one thing to be grateful for. Find one thing to be thankful for, and to just focus on that all day long. Because being grateful...
Just on one thing and focus all the time on this one thing.
Focus on that one thing. Because usually if you find one thing to be grateful for, you'll find 2 or 3 things to be grateful for. Even memories to be grateful for. There are times when I'm down, when I feel really bad, and my mom died 21 years ago. And I'll focus on my mom and I'll thank God that I had a mother who loved me, who hugged me and who told me that she loved me. And I think about her, even though she's been gone for many years, 20 years, I think about how grateful I am to have her. You might have a grandmother who was wonderful to you. You might have had a school teacher who did something good to you. You might have won a contest when you were a little kid. You might have had a pet when you were a child that made you feel good. Think about one thing that will make you feel good. And a lot of times, that one thing will change the way you feel.
Eddie, for example, you're meeting a young person on the street, and from all your life experience, 5 pieces of advice. And this person asks about 5 pieces of advice. What would you say?
All right, well, if the person wants to change his or her life,
yes,
I would think the first thing that I would give this person is I would tell that person, because I'm an expert in the law of attraction, I teach people the law of attraction, I would tell that person to be careful about the words you speak. Don't say anything negative about yourself, and don't say anything negative about other people. If you don't have something positive to say, don't say anything at all, because your words are powerful and your words are prophetic. The words that you say today are creating your future. Even the little words you say. Whatever you say today, right now, some day in the future, you will meet that word with the reality that that word will create for you. That's the first thing I would say. I would say, watch what goes into your mind. Watch the music you hear, the TV, the people you hang around with, the things they say. If they're negative, stay away from them. Because the images that you put in your mind, the things that you think about constantly, the movies you see, everything that goes into your mind comes out into your life. That's what I would say. I would also say, every day, wake up and be grateful for at least 10 things. If you can't find 10 things, then 5 things. If you can't even find 5 things, then 1 thing. But be grateful for something, even if it's fresh air, even if it's the bathroom that you have to use in the morning. Be grateful. The 4th thing I would say is every day, be good to people. No matter if it's difficult, be good to them, because everybody in the world is fighting a battle that we don't know about. Their past, their history, someone hurt them, they're sick, Be nice to people, because that will multiply and it will come back to you. And the second thing, the last thing I would say is that if you have a goal, if you have an intention, then bring action to it every day. Do something every day that will move you toward your goal. Whether it's reading a book, whether it's listening to a CD, whether it's reading a stanza from a poem, or just one little inspirational quote a day. Do something to move you toward your goal every day. Spend 5-10 minutes on it every day, because as you do it persistently every day, you will move toward the things that you desire.
And you can become a mentor for millions of people around the world. Just go to the Leave Your Advice section and share your wisdom with the world. And if your story is outstanding, we will come to you and record an exclusive interview about your story.